The next war won't begin with bombs. It will begin with whispers, with manipulation, betrayal, and the quiet shifting of alliances. Most people won't even know they're on a battlefield until they've already lost. Machiavelli once said, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception." And yet, in every era, from kingdoms to corporations, people still walk blindly into traps laid by sharper minds. This episode is not about politics. It's about survival. Because whether you realize it or not, you are already in a war. A war for power, influence, and control over your own mind. So today, we descend into the brutal lessons Machiavelli would have wanted you to learn before the next war begins. 7 truths that don't comfort you, they prepare you. Let's begin. Throughout history, the people who survive chaos are not the kindest. They're the ones who understand how power hides beneath appearances. Empires rise not because they were good, but because they were strategic. In a world where everyone claims to love peace, the wise quietly prepare for war. You see, modern war doesn't always wear uniforms. It's psychological. It's fought in relationships, in offices, in social hierarchies, and inside your own thoughts. Machiavelli wrote The Prince not as a manual for cruelty, but as a mirror for how the world truly operates. So, let's uncover what he'd teach the modern mind. 7 brutal lessons that prepare you for every battle that comes next. Lesson 1. The first strike is always psychological. Wars don't start when the first punch is thrown. They start when the first perception is shaped. Before a single shot is fired, an idea is planted. A doubt whispered. A reputation quietly destroyed. Machiavelli warned that the most dangerous wars are those fought in the mind before the battlefield. Because if your opponent can control how you see yourself, they've already won. In modern life, this is how power works. You are persuaded, distracted, emotionally drained, until you no longer fight for your own advantage. Think of propaganda, office politics, toxic relationships. All of them use psychological warfare. They make you question your instincts. They make you apologize for your strength. The next war won't come with gunfire. It will come with narratives. So what's the lesson? Guard your perception like it's a fortress. When someone tries to guilt you, confuse you, or flatter you, pause. Recognize the manipulation before you react. Because in this new world, your greatest defense is awareness. I see the battlefield long before it begins. My awareness is my weapon. Lesson 2. Sentimentality is the enemy of strategy. You can't fight a modern war with a bleeding heart. Not when the world rewards those who can stay cold under pressure. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." Not because fear is noble, but because fear is stable. Love is fragile. It shifts with emotion. In the next war, whether it's a business negotiation, a betrayal, or a collapse, emotions will be your first casualty. The moment you act out of guilt, pity, or nostalgia, you give away control. The strategist learns to feel deeply but act rationally. He doesn't suppress emotion. He simply refuses to let it dictate his choices. Imagine a general watching his old friend on the opposite side of the battlefield. Emotion screams to hold back. Strategy whispers, "If you hesitate, you die." Coldness is not cruelty, it's clarity. The ability to act from principle, not pressure. In the wars of influence we fight today, emotional detachment is strength disguised as calm. It's what allows you to move pieces on the board while others are busy reacting. My calm is not weakness. My detachment is discipline. The first 2 lessons harden the mind. They prepare you to see through illusion and act with precision. But survival requires more than perception and detachment. It requires timing, alliances, and the courage to play a longer game than your enemies expect. The next lessons will cut deeper into patience, manipulation, and power itself. Lesson 3. Power hides in patience. Rushing is the enemy of strategy. Every battlefield, ancient or modern, favors the patient mind. Machiavelli understood this instinctively. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality. All men have eyes, but few have the gift of penetration. Your next war, whether it's corporate, social, or personal, will test your patience. Impulsive action is visible, predictable, and exploitable. The person who waits, who observes, who lets the enemy reveal their weaknesses first wins. Think of history. Caesar crossed the Rubicon only after years of political maneuvering. Napoleon waited for the perfect moment to strike at Austerlitz. Even in modern life, the negotiator who lets the other party reveal their hand first secures the better deal. Patience is not passive. It is silent aggression, a form of quiet dominance. It allows you to act decisively while your opponent acts emotionally. I wait with purpose. My patience is my advantage. Lesson 4. Allies are weapons and liabilities. No one survives a war alone, but alliances are double-edged swords. Machiavelli wrote, "He who becomes a friend of all ends up being the friend of none." The lesson is brutal but simple. Choose allies like you choose swords. Each alliance has weight, edge, and a direction. The wrong friend can stab you from behind. The right friend can amplify your strength beyond measure. In modern battles, CEOs manipulate partnerships. Politicians cultivate loyal factions. Even personal conflicts hinge on strategic alliances. The key is not blind trust. It is calculated interdependence. Know who benefits, who expects, and who is expendable. Every alliance is temporary. Every loyalty has a cost. I choose my allies with eyes wide open. My loyalty is measured, my power uncompromised. Lesson 5. Anticipate the betrayal before it happens. History is littered with victims who trusted too much. Even those closest to you can betray. Machiavelli didn't mince words. Men are ungrateful, fickle, liars, and deceivers. You must never rely on them completely. Betrayal is not paranoia, it is preparation. It is the armor you wear before the first sword is drawn. Think of Julius Caesar and Brutus, or corporate leaders blindsided by their most trusted executives, or friends who reveal themselves only when power shifts. The lesson is clear. Expect betrayal. Prepare for it. Plan your escape routes, contingencies, and countermoves. Your mind becomes your fortress. Your decisions become preemptive. Your instincts sharpen. I expect treachery and act with clarity. My vigilance is my shield. So far, we've uncovered the power of perception and psychological control, the necessity of emotional detachment, patience as a weapon, alliances as double-edged tools, and the inevitability of betrayal. The battlefield is as much inside you as outside. Lesson 6. Fear is more reliable than love. Machiavelli's words echo through centuries. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Love is conditional. It shifts with moods, loyalty, and personal gain. Fear, however measured and strategic, is constant. This does not mean cruelty for its own sake. It means commanding respect through clarity, authority, and consequence. History shows us the truth. Alexander the Great inspired devotion, but fear ensured obedience. Frederick the Great ruled not only through admiration but through the knowledge that disobedience had price. In modern life, fear takes subtler forms: reputation, influence, and competence. When people know you are capable, resolute, and unshakable, they tread carefully. The next war you face, internal or external, rewards those who instill subtle fear, not terror, but respect for your precision and unpredictability. I command respect through strength and clarity. My presence inspires caution, not chaos. Lesson 7. Deception is the armor of the wise. The final lesson is the most uncomfortable. Truth is often a liability. Reality is seldom black and white. Those who survive and thrive are those who master the art of deception. Machiavelli explained, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Deception is not lying for pleasure. It is strategy disguised as inevitability. It is the ability to present strength when weak, calm when agitated, and clarity when confused. History provides endless examples. Hannibal crossing the Alps, hiding his army's true strength. The Trojan horse, genius cloaked in cunning. Modern negotiators and CEOs leveraging information asymmetry for victory. In your own battles, deception can protect your resources, reveal your enemy's intentions, and give you leverage. It is a shield, a sword, and a mirror all at once. I wield deception as a tool of strategy. My clarity is hidden, my moves deliberate. 7 brutal lessons, 7 mirrors of reality. Psychological dominance precedes every victory. Detachment from sentiment grants clarity. Patience reveals weakness before action. Alliances can multiply or destroy your power. Betrayal is inevitable. Plan for it. Fear is more reliable than love. Deception shields and strengthens the wise. These truths are not comforting. They are brutal, and they are necessary. Your next war may not be fought with armies or weapons. It may be in the boardroom, the social arena, or within your own mind. But if you have absorbed these lessons, you will move like a shadow on the battlefield. Unseen, unstoppable, prepared. Remember the words of Carl Jung. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Machiavelli would remind you, survival is an art, strategy is life, and wisdom is forged in the fires of discomfort, vigilance, and courage. I am prepared for the wars that come unseen. My mind is my fortress, my strategy my sword. The battlefield exists everywhere. Not all warriors wear armor. Not all battles leave scars. But those who understand these 7 brutal lessons, they survive, they thrive, they endure.